Okay, let's see how this goes, my friends. We are going live. Hello, hello. Are we working? We're working. Hi everybody, I'm Raina, a professional mermaid from Canada. Super excited to be here this weekend with you. I'm a mermaid from Canada, bud, that's me. So I just thought I would do a little chat with everybody, see how everyone's doing on this long weekend, and I was going to show some of my clips and we can just chat and ask questions and hang out, and I hope you're all having a really great long weekend. I know that a lot of the folks in America are already back in school, and in Canada they're starting to go back in school and they're going to go back in school soon. Can you hear me all right? Because I'm trying a different audio setup. Let me know if you can hear me all right, okay? My kiddo is with me here. He's doing his thing behind me. This is him when he was a baby. Hey, Christopher. Hope you're doing well. Great to hear from you today. Great to see everybody today. Sometimes it doesn't like to show everything in like the full resolution, so I always have to go in and make it do that. Shalom, Mermaid Reina. You're so very beautiful. Oh, thank you so much. Easy Incorporated, all new second channel. So this is your second channel, eh? I tried to do a second channel and it was a lot, so I didn't get to do as much as I wanted there. But I decided, actually, how about we move this over here so you're not dealing with all the words. Let's do it like this. There we go. I tried to do a second channel, but it actually just ended up being 2 times as much work. Hello, paleontologist approved. Hi, my mermaid. How are you? I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well. Do you like dinosaurs, my friend? Would you like a dinosaur themed mermaid? There's like a guy called Jurassic Merman, and he makes like dinosaur themed mermaid tails. Isn't that cool? This is a pretty funny one. We're like making a little heart in the sand, and then behind us, some people get knocked over by a wave. So like, look at the background. Look, watch this big wave. Whoa, knocked over all those people. I love that one. Oh my gosh, girl, come get this commentary. You are the sweetest. How are you? How's your channel going? I always have to binge watch all my friends' channels because I get so busy momming. So what happens is I end up like scrolling scrolling YouTube late at night, catching up on everything. Hi everybody, it's so great to hear from you all. How is everybody doing this long weekend? We're going into a nice long weekend for everybody, and Labor Day long weekend in North America. And I'm very excited. I got a influencer deal, and I'm going to stay at a really cool mermaid themed Airbnb locally, and we're going to make some content for them. So I'm probably going to live stream when I'm there. And I think that's going to be really cool, but the whole place is covered in like thousands of seashells. So it's definitely me. And we have been dealing with really bad forest fires here, and because of that there has been a ban on going into the woods to try to prevent forest fires. And because of that, hey, Mr. Trout back there, shush. Do you want to come say hi to everybody? Or are you just going to keep using your tablet, kiddo? Anyway, there's a forest fire, and there was one that came right up to my home, and I posted some videos of it on my channel. And hi. Oh, are you saying hi to everybody? All right, just a second here, kiddo. You can say hi. I'll put you up on my lap. You can say hi.
Hi.
Yeah, so anyway, there was, I'm just moderating the chat here. I saw that somebody kind of was taking over.
That's the pool.
That's the pool. That's you and I in the pool. Do you want to tell all of our friends all the stuff we're doing?
Underwater?
You want to see underwater? Who's that?
Me.
It's you when you were little.
Yeah, that's me, the baby. Look, that's you, Mom.
That's me and you.
Look, that's me, the baby.
That's you, the baby. Yep.
Yeah.
That's you with the baby tail.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm sorry, I keep getting sidetracked. So basically what happened is...
Just see underwater.
Yeah, you want to see you underwater? I don't think I have any videos of you underwater, buddy. Hi, guys. Okay, so I keep trying to tell this story, but basically there was a ban on going into the woods here because of the risk of forest fires. And because of that, we couldn't go many places that we usually like to go to make our content because everything was accessible through the woods.
That's the beach.
Yeah, that's you when you were a baby at the beach. That's when we gave our friend a mermaid makeover. She's in the pink tail there. Yeah. Have you ever done a live stream with live commentary from a toddler? This is all when you were really little. This is one of our most popular videos ever, kid.
I want to play with the sand.
Do you know how many views this has? 125 million views. It's been watched 125 million times. It has 1.6 million likes. That's you. Look at you. You're just being cute. You're just literally doing nothing but being cute.
Look, he's playing with the sand.
You're playing with the sand, yeah. There's Mommy underwater. Oh, I don't know what's happening here. Oh, it's like a montage. Okay, it's a montage of our summer.
That's underwater.
We have to make a new montage video of our summer.
Mommy, you...
Can you say hi to some of my friends?
Hi.
Can you say hi, Christopher?
Hi, Christopher.
Can you say hi, come get this?
Hi, come get this.
Thank you. Can you say hi, puppies?
Hi, puppies.
Yeah, thanks, bud. Yeah, cool. So that was like a big montage of our summer. We have to make a new montage video of all the things we did this summer.
Yeah.
We did so many things with our costumes, didn't we? So many.
Yep.
There's an underwater clip for you, bud.
That's underwater.
What am I doing there? What am I wearing on my face?
You're wearing goggles.
And what am I doing? What am I doing in the water?
You're doing this, and you're swimming like this, and you're doing this.
And I'm doing that, and I'm going like this.
And you're going like this.
I have to move my webcam out of the way because it's in the way. Let's move it over here, like this, and then people can see it better. The tricky thing about doing screen sharing, and I know my girl Come Get This knows, but like you have to have so many windows open at the same time. Yeah, I was rolling. That's right.
I'm all done.
That's one of my costumes. Are you all done? Okay, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. All right, this was like a Halloween shoot, and it was like behind the sines of a Halloween shoot. Yeah, you say bye, but then you come back.
Hi.
Bye-bye. Hi, bye-bye.
Hi, bye-bye. Hi.
So yeah, this is behind the scenes blacklight shoot, and we lit up the pool, which is why it looks blue and green like that, and why my outfit is glowing a little bit. And this was all kind of like behind the scenes of making the photos, which was really cool. Do you want to say hi? The webcam is like it's very low. You have to stick your head in like right here. This is the guy who does all the videos.
That's Mermaid Skeleton.
Mermaid Skeleton, yeah.
You're so funny.
You are so funny.
Mama.
Okay, don't pull at my clothes, please. Thank you so much. Okay. Cool. Let's get back to chatting with everybody. I have to open up my chat window here.
Look, I don't have to slip with my drink. It's super yummy.
Those are just all the different... Oh yeah, this is like doing my makeup. So I do a lot of like those makeup transition videos. Hi Jordan. A lot of people ask me how I make my makeup work underwater, and I actually wear like very special sealer that makes everything stay on underwater. and it basically goes on your face. It's kind of like clear nail polish, like that's what it smells like. And yeah, and I like to when it's cold weather, we'll make content using the bathtub, and I'll throw in like a Lush bath bomb or something, and then we get really cool photos and videos out of it. And it's just cool blacklight stuff. I like it. Hi, Jordan Robertson. Oh, my girl's driving here, so thank you so much for tuning in, though. I really love sharing this kind of stuff with you all. I'm going to swap the footage here for some more recent stuff. And I'm just going to move my window so we can chat. I really just want to chat with everybody and hear how everyone's doing. Here we go. To bear with me because I'm still getting used to OBS, but here we go. Cool. So this is just some footage from the past couple of weekends swimming at an island with the costumes. Crazy story though, something that just happened not far from here where we were swimming like a weekend ago. There was a great white shark sighting, which is really, it's not necessarily rare, but it is rare for them to be in the areas where people are swimming. They're usually like out in the deep water. And so like we were swimming in this area, and then just yesterday somebody posted an Instagram reel from snorkeling in the area, and a great white shark swam right up to them and then just swam away. Didn't bother them, was just kind of checking things out. And I'm like, cool. I was just there with a bunch of kids. Michael Drexler says, you look great. Oh, thanks, buddy. It's a lot of makeup and costume and sometimes wigs. And I like to be silly. But, you know, I think I'm not too bad for my age. I don't know. I work out. I do a lot of swimming. I work out. Actually, I work really hard at it, but it is tricky. I'm getting old. Hard to keep up with these young mermaids. So this was like behind the scenes of a bunch of stuff that I was doing on the island, and it was all, let me think for a second. 90% plastic said hi. Oh man, we are 90% plastic, aren't we? I was actually just like doing some research into plastic pollution, just like updating my understanding, and it's really, really crazy scary. Jordan says, you look so beautiful as a mermaid. Thank you very much. I love being a mermaid. I love getting into costume and getting into character. I love entertaining people. I love shooting content for YouTube where I'm swimming underwater. I recently learned how to make interactive 360-degree video, kind of like what you would use in VR, or kind of like what you'd see on Google Maps, where you can grab the video and move it around. So I recently learned how to make that, and I put one on my channel. So it's pretty cool, because if you're looking at it and you're using a phone, you can actually like move the phone around, and you can see what the underwater looked like to me. So when you're moving it like this, you can look all around underwater with me, which is really cool. It's hard to do, and I'm learning how to do it. So like, it's my first video and it's not perfect, but it is on my long form on my channel, and I've just been kind of learning how to do it. So I enjoy it. Anybody got any good plans coming up this weekend for the long weekend? I mentioned earlier, but we are going to an Airbnb. I'm doing like an exchange with this Airbnb, and we are going to get some content for them, and it looks like a little mermaid cottage. It's full of seashells and everything, so that's pretty cool. And it's on a lake, so I get to go swimming, and there's boats and stuff, and we just got past a fire ban. We had a fire ban. Trevor Ramey, do you like Superman movies? So Trevor, I actually have a second channel with my best friend where we do movie reviews. It's called Raina and Drew Instant Movie Reviews, and I've shared it on my community tab a few times. but I saw the Superman movie and we made a review for it, and I really, really liked it. I like the animated movies and TV stuff a bit better than I like the live action, but I do like it. And it's funny, I'm like talking away here, not even realizing that my picture is like blocking out the mermaids. So let's move it so you can see the mermaids. There we are. Do do do. Make myself smaller so you can see it. So yeah, I do like Superman. I see a lot of movies actually. I see movies like once a week with my best friend, and we like to review them. Our YouTube channel for movies isn't very big, but we do get to go see free movies because of it. So that's pretty cool, right? I like that. But yeah, I'm just really enjoying the cooler temperatures right now. We had a heat wave, we had a drought, and so we've had forest fires, and now the air has gotten really clear, and it's really exciting to be able to go out and do things again without having to worry about there I'm so Canadian about a boat without having to worry about forest fires and everything. So this was Mimi and I swimming. That tail that I'm wearing right there is a custom tail. It's fabric and it's made to look like my silicone mermaid tail. I might swap things here in a second so I can show you guys some other cool footage if you don't mind. This is just some like pre-recorded stuff I'm using to chat with everybody. Let me show you some of my other stuff. Let's go over here. Thank you for your patience. All right, check this out. This is pretty cool. This is one of my silicone tails, and I'm gonna play the video clip for you here. This looks really cool. So this tail is made out of silicone rubber, and it's like 50 pounds. And as you can see, it's like very realistic. So that's pretty cool. And the water is really clear because this is like the Florida Springs. Hello, thanks for joining us. And I'm wearing a wig in this because hi Chris, nice to see you. I'm wearing a wig in this because the wigs are easier to style and keep their shape underwater instead of like going in my face. Real hair isn't buoyant the way that fake hair is. And fake hair is really a lot easier underwater, except if it gets caught on coral or rocks and stuff like that. Then it gets to be a little bit dangerous because you try to get off and the wig is caught. Trevor Raby says, I have a question. What's your question? You asked me if I like Superman movies, right? I do like them. Yeah, they're great. Here's another view of that tail. So that part that you see right in the front here is called the fluke, and it's really heavy. And it's got something inside of it called a monofin, and that's what helps me swim. That's what kind of propels me forward. It's like a piece of fiberglass on the inside. And then the silicone rubber is medical grade, so it's very soft. It feels a lot like skin. And it's been pigmented with pigments, and then the outside has been painted with pigments mixed into silicone and like thinned down and put through an airbrush. So that's pretty cool. This is like a really old video of my first silicone tail. So this is like, that clip's like 12 years old or something, 12 or 13 years old. Back in the OG original days of YouTube, and I'm blowing a bubble heart, so I'm really proud of myself there. This was like some Halloween stuff. Yeah, so here's a monofin. This thing here is what's inside some of my tails. Now this one is a silicone monofin, so it's very, very floppy, but some of the other ones are fiberglass. And so this one I'm wearing is pretty cool because it gives you like this really kind of floppy look to it, realistic look. And I really like it, but it's not quite as strong as the fiberglass stuff. So anyway, it's pretty neat. As you can see, it's huge. It takes me quite a bit to be able to do those flips because the thing is just so freaking wide and big. And then sometimes I kind of like fall over sideways. So that's what's happening here. I'm like falling over sideways because it's so wide. And then sometimes I'm like just in the water without a fin, and this is in Mexico in the cenotes, and the fish and the wildlife are like so used to people that they don't even care. You can see they're just swimming around, so that's pretty cool. Oh my gosh, I'm like talking to you guys and you're not even seeing this. I'm like talking this whole way through and it's showing like old videos. Sorry guys, I'm getting used to OBS. Let me show you what I was talking about. I'm like talking this whole way and you're like not even seeing it. I apologize. Let's see here. There we go. Now we can show you what I'm talking about. I'm like explaining this whole thing and it's not showing to you. I'm so sorry that that didn't work. All right, let me try to explain this. This is what I was explaining earlier. I'm sorry for the confusion. This is a silicone mermaid tail. This is what I was talking about, and it has the rubber. It's made out of rubber, and the inside of the fluke, as you can see here, this floppy bit here, this is where the fin is inside that makes me swim. That's what helps me move. And it's very floppy because there's only a small piece of fiberglass inside of it right around here. It's made of silicone that is called dragon skin, and it's like a special effects quality, so it's what they use in movies and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. And here's like another view of it. So this is in the Florida Springs when I traveled. So I'm Canadian, and this is when I went to Florida a few years ago. It's so crystal clear. And yeah, so it's like one big piece. Both my legs are in there. Up here is where the fin is, and the monofin is what allows me to swim. The outside is pigmented and painted, so that's pretty cool. I really like it. It's really hyper realistic, except the thing is with these silicone tails, they're really cumbersome. They're about 40 or 50 pounds, sometimes even 60 pounds, and that is a lot. It's pretty intense. Underwater though, I'm really floaty, so having something heavy that helps me sink really helps. Thanks for sticking with this live stream, even though like my video froze. This is my old video from like 12 years ago, OG on YouTube. It's me blowing a heart bubble. So this is like an older fin. You can kind of see in the background here, it's like really big. This is the monofin I was just talking about, where I was explaining it's like a whale tail, you can kind of see. And see how wide this is? So this is actually made of silicone, so it's very floppy. It gives like a really cool, realistic look. However, because it's so made out of soft silicone and it's so floppy, it's hard for me to get a lot of speed or push from it. The fiberglass is way better for that, so that's pretty cool. I keep turning my head because I've got my chat over to the side because the way I'm sharing the window here, so I am reading your chats. I had to pause a few people. I've answered the Superman question like 20 times. So pretty cool. Would any of you ever try this? Like, would you ever try, maybe not like a mermaid tail, but like, would you try a fin, maybe? Like, would you maybe try the fin part of it? I can hold my breath for up to 3 minutes, but around 2 minutes is more comfortable for me. 2.5 minutes is kind of pushing it. 3 I can do if I'm staying really still, because then my body's not using a lot of oxygen. But in order to pass my freediving course, I had to do 1.5 minutes, I think. Yeah, so I was really proud of myself for being able to do 1.5 minutes. And this is just in Mexico, and you can see that like all of the fish, everybody's really chill. You can see I'm letting out a lot of air to be able to sink, because I don't sink very well. I have to like blow out a lot of air in order to sink and get down. But I wasn't scared or anything. I'm just right down there in the plants. It's pretty cool. Not a problem. This is another fabric tail here. And this was just kind of practicing in the pool. I do open my eyes in the pool. It does hurt my eyes sometimes because of the chlorine. I do it anyway. This particular tail is fabric. So that little fin that I just showed you is in the bottom of it. And then the fabric is made out of like similar to a wetsuit material. I have all kinds of different ones. This is after I had my baby, so I'm a little bit chubbier here because I don't know if I am pregnant or this is right after I had him. but it's a different tail that I was trying out, and I really like the colors of it. Although sometimes when you're wearing blue tails, they tend to blend in with the pool, so it's not always the best. And then when I take photos and I have to edit them in Photoshop and everything, it's a bit tricky to like make them dark enough. Oh yeah, so this is me when I'm pregnant. So that's my pregnant baby belly right there. And this was a costume I was putting together to look like a butterfly. And I kind of did like butterfly makeup up here. And then that's my real hair. It's just dyed. And this is kind of sitting in the ocean. And it was so freaking hot that even though the water was really cold, I was so hot from the heat, the heat wave being pregnant, that I just went in the water anyway. I didn't care. And let's see. This is I'll move me down a little bit. Ooh, come on. There we go. Move this over here so you can see this better. So this was part of my mermaid look that I did for some photo shoots when I was pregnant. And you can see my husband's down here taking pictures with the camera, and I had these wings. But I only had this like regular black bikini top, and eventually I would get like a special mermaid butterfly top. I'll show you that too. This is one of the girls who worked for me, Mermaid Nessie, and we were shooting a promotion for this Sugar Bubbles Bath Bakery handmade bath and body treats. So those are like handmade soaps and bath bombs. And I loved it because she had this bathtub just right outside her store, and we would sit and get pictures in it. And I love like the colors of our tails and everything. But they decided to close over COVID, and they gave us a bathtub. So we have a random bathtub at my friend's house. Are you single? No, darling, I'm married. Married with a child. Sorry to dash your dreams, my love. Happily married. See? There's my baby. He's pretty cute, right? This was a promotional shoot for this tail that I'm wearing. And it's like a really affordable tail. It's like $100 for this whole tail here. And then the baby tails too. But you can't swim in the baby tail. They're just a cute little costume. That's more of the baby belly with the baby being all cute. It's just like a little montage of all the stuff we did together over that summer. He had to come to gigs with me because there was no childcare, so he was coming to gigs with me a lot. This is me practicing blowing bubbles, and it's really tricky to see this, but if you look really close at my nose, I am actually wearing special nose plugs that go inside my nose, and they make it easier for me to go down and blow bubbles. So that's pretty cool. And if you look at my goggles that I'm wearing, my goggles are made to match my mermaid costume. They have little fins on the side, so that's cool too. I do open my eyes underwater all the time, but when I'm practicing a lot in chlorine, it is important that I practice with goggles so I can see what I'm doing and I don't hurt myself in the pool. And also just to preserve my eyes and make sure that my eyes aren't getting too much of a chemical burn. I've had chemical burns from the pools, and that really sucks. This is when I was pregnant. Hi, Kessie. Hi, Kessie. Nice to meet you. Thanks for dropping in on my live chat. This is like behind the scenes of a photo shoot. So this is when the baby was in my belly, and this was like a whale-inspired tail, and that shadow is my husband. So that was kind of cute. This is the baby belly here. I think I was 8 months pregnant here, so that was before he was born, obviously. And I don't mind the seaweed at all. I'm right inside of it. No problem. Another little pregnancy one. I'll just flip past those. I love this look that I did for this little photo shoot. Those eyelashes are magnetic eyelashes. So I put like a liner on that was magnetic and put the lashes on. My friend made me this crown, and it's got so many details, as you can see. It's so beautiful. This is another one of my favorite fabric tails. I travel a lot with fabric mermaid tails because they're lighter to have in the suitcase than like the big silicone heavy tails. And I love this one because it looks like a rainbow. And yeah, I'm in a cenote here, so that's pretty cool. but I really love the way it looks. It's just so beautiful. And this was like just out in Mexico. Like we went on these little tour boats and they took us around, but the water was really murky and we were nervous about gators, so we didn't stick around too long. We just kind of hung out and got these little videos and stuff. But I bought this necklace on that trip too, so that was in Cancun. That was nice. So this is one of those monofins, and it's so heavy. Look, whoop, slop. It's just a big piece of rubber. This outfit that I'm wearing is called a slip-in, and it's actually to make it easier to get inside a wetsuit. So I like it because it kind of looks like a whale shark, as you can see. And this is me getting ready to do a photo shoot when it was really cold out. So this is like almost winter here. And I'm wearing like wetsuit pants and an electric jacket and everything. And I have contacts in, and I thought they looked pretty cool too. Here's another clip from Mexico. This is one of my favorite tails. I really love it. And even though this is like a fabric tail, I think it would be really cool to have this one made in silicone and just have it be like a fully rubber tail. The benefit of the silicone is I do some work in film and TV, and the silicone tails look really realistic, because if you look at this picture, this video, you'll actually see that because it's fabric, see there's air bubbles trapped here. See on the side of the fluke down at the bottom right hand corner, it's like a air bubble trap. So and you know, and like with fabric tails, like this cute little video behind the scenes, you can see that I've got like dirt on the heels, and you can really see the heels of the costume, so you can really tell that it's a costume. And when I use the rubber tails instead of the fabric tails, you don't get any of that. It looks really hyper realistic, so then it's really good for like movies and TV and everything. But this is when I had blue hair. I did do the blue hair for a while. Over the pandemic, I was changing my hair all the time. Hi, Mary. Thank you for joining us. My name is Raina. I'm a professional mermaid from Canada, and I like showing behind the scenes of how I make my content, talking about mermaid tails, talking about holding my breath underwater, swimming with animals, all kinds of cool stuff, being a mom, trying to juggle it all. I did this for like a Christmas shoot, and I'm wearing like an ugly Christmas sweater, and this is a Little Mermaid ugly Christmas sweater, which I think is the funniest thing ever. I really love it, and I like to make unique Christmas content, Halloween content, stuff like that. I like to do that every year. So it's a pretty cute little sweater, and I like that it matches the tail and the outfit kind of well. This is just a little lake, but it would probably be like 10 degrees 5 or 10 degrees Celsius in this, so that's why I'm not in the water. This is just a little behind the scenes clip of another area where I go to do photo shoots, and of course after I was there was another shark sighting, which is crazy. I swim there all the time, and I would be so worried of sharks, but we just never see them. They're never around, so this is my little guy when he was a baby, and we were making some content for Halloween. So we were all dressed up, and it's fall, so the leaves have all changed, and you can see that he's really enjoying crinkling the leaves, so that's pretty cute and fun. He's got like a little skeleton on top. This is another video from being pregnant, and this was like a photo shoot that we did. So that was fun. Another little clip of Buddy. Little Buddy and I call him Trout. His nickname on the internet is Trout. So there's Trout and I getting some Halloween content. Okay, so where can I move me so that you can see this better? How about I move me over here? Cool. So this is my silicone tail. So this is a custom silicone tail. So this is like this is all rubber, and you look at my arms, I actually have gloves on that are giving me webbed fingers and giving me scales. So if you look closely at right here at my arms, I think that's really cool too. You can kind of see the scales and everything. This is like a lionfish tail. It had all these extra little bits on the side. We've got quite a few. That's me like practicing in the ocean. Hey Snoopy, how you doing? I'm just flicking through some of these a little quickly because they're not all relevant, but so he's got his little baby tails. That top that I'm wearing is made out of silicone, which is cool. Oh yeah, that's us splashing around in the lake. So as you can see, I've had many hair colors. We've got the blonde hair color there. This was like a 60s photo shoot we did, so I've got this giant 60s beehive wig. It was ridiculous. So really big old beehive wig here. And this was shortly after I had the baby, so I'm a little chubbier there. And the tail is like a whale shark tail. This is one of my older silicone tails. This was my second silicone tail that I owned, and this is shortly after I first got it, and I was really floaty in it, and I was trying to like figure out how to swim with it still because I kept floating so much. And this is like from so long ago. This is like a 10-year-old video clip. I actually have braces in this clip. So watch when she swims closer, you actually see those their braces. I didn't have wigs or anything yet. That's like my real hair. So I think that's like, oh, so funny. Little baby me. This is my best friend. We're laughing our butts off because just before this video clip, the river like knocked us over and we went flying. The Night Striker said hi. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for joining. So yeah, this is also when I was pregnant and I did like a goddess photo shoot. So this was like a costume my friend made and at a little river, just getting some pictures. Lantern's Own. Hi, how are things going in the Great White North? Well, they're going pretty good. Thank you so much for asking. We just had a fire ban lifted. We've had a drought all summer and we've had forest fires all summer. One of them came very close to my home, but we were able to get through it and now we're allowed back out in nature again, so that's great. This is when I was pregnant again too, so just getting some video clips there. This is a really cool gig that I got to work where I was partnered up with a little touch tank company, and they had animals, little critters like real living starfish and crabs and lobsters and stuff like that. So that's me like showing it. And I got to sit in this special kind of hot tub, which was kind of cool. So this was like one of my favorite gigs. It was the last gig I did before the COVID lockdown, the very last one. John Magus says, "Thank goodness." Yes, thank goodness that that's over. We're very lucky that that is over. Let me move me out of the way so you guys can see better. I've got too many windows open right now trying to make this work. So Nick says, "Hi Mermaid, very nice costume." Thank you, Nick. I have lots of different costumes. So I do all kinds of different types of work as a performing mermaid, and this is a fun one. This is making a little bit of Christmas content, so that is actually snow. And fun story, this is actually when I was first pregnant. And we only had just found out that we were pregnant. So I was just pregnant there. And this is that bathtub I was talking about earlier. John says, "What a wild time. You back working again?" So I closed my company and I don't book like kids parties and stuff anymore, but I still make lots of content for YouTube. I still subcontract under other companies, and I do some teaching as a mermaid. So I'm still doing lots of stuff, but just not the way I did before the pandemic and before becoming a mom. So here I am hanging out. This gig and event is also in the winter, so being able to be in this hot tub was so great. It was so awesome because I could keep warm. You can see the poor little kids are like wearing rubber boots. So we had like a little thing set up here where they could take a picture of themselves as mermaids. I also brought in little fins that the kids could wear, so that was fun. Oh yeah, this was a swim up bar in Mexico. Of course I had to get a picture. This was pretty cute, you know. Jordan says, "Looks cool." Thanks, Jordan, for checking out. Your icon looks cool. This is also when I was pregnant, and this was Mother's Day when I was pregnant. And this tail that I'm wearing, oh my gosh. So, hi Kenneth, thanks for dropping in. This tail that I'm wearing is resin scales, and they're all individually sewn on, and then the fluke is silicone. and it was such a pain in the butt to wear because all the scales kept falling off and I had to keep re-sewing them on. So I eventually ended up selling it to somebody because it was so much work. This is this is my second silicone tail I had, and the cool feature on this is if you look at the waistline, it's something called a blended lace waistline. So the artist who made it like used this technique to try to make it look like it blended in with my skin. So that was really cool, just if you kind of see the way it fades in there. The problem with these silicone tails though is when you start to get out of the water, you get this suction. So you see how I get wrinkles down here at the ankle and I get a wrinkle here and stuff like that. And that's because the water is actually, these little black parts in my fluke actually have piping in them so that the water can come out. And so the water that was in it when I was swimming is actually coming out the bottom, and so it's causing all these wrinkles and suction up here. So that's kind of funny. Like, it's just all these weird little things that you wouldn't think of. John says, getting in and out of the tail is half the job. That is so true. Lantern's Own says, what's your favorite part about being a mermaid? I think my favorite part about being a mermaid is the reactions I get from people and being able to make things magical for kids and adults too. I think adults never, we don't really get a chance to play and have fun, and we're really shamed for our things, whether you're into gaming or role playing or D&D or cosplay or whatever it is that you're into as an adult. Society tends to frown on it. But what's really interesting is in my degrees that I took in education and child development, we did a lot of research around the benefits of play and how important play is to us throughout our entire lives. And play is like this essential building block when we're children, but when we're adults, play actually helps us cope with the world around us. And people who are able to play with whatever, whatever it is, whether it's, like I said, gaming, cosplay, D&D, playing sports, LARPing, whatever, people who play tend to be healthier and have more resilience. So I think that's great. John says, do you get like a huge boost while swimming with the tail like fins? It depends on the type of fin I'm wearing. Some fins have fiberglass in them, and those ones help me swim really fast. And some of them are floppier, so they're more showy, and I can't swim very well. Someone says, oh my god, you are not actually a mermaid. Stop. Hello, welcome to my channel. This is my job. I perform as a mermaid, and I talk about doing this as a job. So thank you. I understand that I'm a human being. Thank you so much for that news flash. I'm very aware that I'm a human being, trust me. I enjoy performing as a mermaid. Jordan says, I'm a kid and I love mermaids. They are so cute. Yes, mermaids are cool. This is one time these mermaids and I, so I'm the one in orange and my friends are the other two. We were doing a gig and it started thunderstorming. So we had to get out of the pool, so just like to be safe in case there was a lightning strike. And it just started pouring, but it was also really stinking hot out, so we just hung out on the side there, right? And we had a good time. Lucas says, oh my god. Yep. Okay, so here, remember I was talking about these sequin tails? Look at this thing. So those are all individual sequins. All there, they're like resin pieces, and they're like sewn onto wetsuit material. And then this part, the fluke part that's like flipping up and down, that's silicone. But like, man, they were so high maintenance. This is behind the scenes of a photo shoot, and this is a silicone tail that weighed like 60 pounds, and it was really hard to photo shoot in because it was like killing my ankles, and it was really heavy and tricky to move around. But this is like a side view of the photo shoot, so you can kind of see all the things that went into setting up the set, which I think was really cool. You've got like jellyfish hanging from the ceiling and all kinds of stuff, and starfish everywhere, so I think that's pretty cool. I always try to make content around the holidays, so I will try to do, in Canada we have Thanksgiving in October. And John says there should be 3D printed replacements for the resin scales. Yeah, I really think that there's like an untapped market of making 3D printed mermaid tails. I think someone should do that, John. I was talking to my friend Ray, who made themselves like armbands with scales on them, like dragon scales. And I'm like, you could make a whole tail that way. It'd be so cool. But yeah, so in Canada, our Thanksgiving is in October, so I always make some kind of content. And Chris Hanna says hi. Hi, Chris. This is just showing you kind of like carrying one of the tails around. The fin is still inside it. You can see it's kind of floppy, and the scales are like printed on the fabric. Snoopy says, I want to cosplay mermaiding. I want to be a merman. I also have a lot of learning from environmental education. Yes, you do. It's always great. You don't have to be into environmental stuff to work in the mermaid industry, but I really like using it as a way to help others and teach them, because when I am performing as a mermaid, kids really like to listen to me because they think that I am a real mermaid. So they really like listening to what I have to say, and I think it kind of gives me a superpower. This was during COVID, that's why I'm wearing a mask, and it was like early COVID, so like I was wearing a mask outside. It was before we knew everything, right? Um, but yeah, so I like being able to educate kids as a mermaid because they do really like to listen to me when I'm in costume. They kind of see me as somebody who represents the ocean, so they're really open to hearing what I have to say. So when I talk to kids about pollution and plastic and overfishing, they really do listen. So it's really cool. It gives me a great opportunity. Um, let's see here. This is me being safety for my friend, and the two of us. Oh yeah, we were just look at that little blackfish like just coming by. So whenever you see videos of us underwater, there is always another person there for safety. So even if you don't see the second person, there's always another person present. And we do that in case somebody has an accident or gets stuck in something or gets a bad foot cramp, or God forbid somebody faints underwater, which is called an underwater blackout, and it can totally happen. So that is like really important that we do that. And like I said, whenever I'm underwater, you may not always see somebody, but they are there. And same thing with these kind of videos. This is like me giving my son a ride, trying to get him used to hanging on to me. And his dad is right there. He's wearing this camera on his head so that his hands are free and he can just grab us if we need him. But this was me just trying to help my little guy get used to being in the water. And you can see his dad's hand is right there holding him, making sure he's good. And yeah, when your mom is a mermaid, you kind of got to learn how to be comfortable and safe around the water. So he's in like really special swimming classes where they teach them like how to rescue themselves if they fall in the pool, which is super helpful. But I have this muted because I'm talking to you guys, but in this video I'm actually saying like don't try this at home. I'm a trained professional kind of thing. And this is me kind of testing out my goggles, and you can see that I have to let out a lot of air to sink. That's really common. How's it going?
He's in the tub.
Okay, great. Yeah, so I'm testing out those goggles there, which are pretty cool. And there we are together again, being cute. Let's see. Any other questions? Like Aquaman, but a lady. I kind of think I need to make like an Aquaman costume or something. I think that would be really fun. He's like poking at my boobs. He's like, why is there an octopus on there? Kids can get away with it. He's so funny. Yeah, this is from this girl and I were doing a gig at a hotel, and we did a bunch of entertaining in the pool, and then we went around the hotel and got pictures and videos. And this is behind the scenes. EB Games, they have an office here, and they have like all their artists on site, and they wanted to use me as reference for something. So this is like behind the scenes trying to get pictures. but the waves kept splashing the camera gear. John says, have you ever met anyone famous? Yes, I've actually met a few famous people. I worked with Netflix, and I had to sign a big ol' NDA. There, I got splashed by the freezing cold water there. Yeah, so I worked with Netflix. So some of the people I've talked to because of my mermaid work, some of it has been online and some of it's been in person. And I got a shout out from Ricky Gervais on his verified Twitter and William Shatner on his verified Twitter, which was cool. So that was cool that they both shouted me out. And Daryl Hannah, who you might know her from Kill Bill, but I know her from Splash. I actually have a tattoo of her on my arm, and she's shouted me out a few times. She's really sweet. Anna Paquin, who played Rogue in X-Men, I've talked to her online as well. In person, I've met some really great people. Robert Short is the special effects artist, and he did E.T. and won the Oscar for E.T. He also did Beetlejuice, and he did Splash, the mermaid movie. So that's how I found him as well. And Robert has been like a mentor to me. Actually, he's actually advised us on some filming that we've done locally with different techniques that we could use to make things work. So that was pretty cool. This was an event at the convention center, and we just decided to get some pictures literally on the street because they closed the street to people. So we decided to get some pictures in this crazy blue light that they had there. But yeah, I worked with Cynthia Wade, who is an Oscar-winning director, and I worked with her through Netflix, which was cool. I got cut from Netflix, so that kind of sucked because we put in a ton of work for it, and that is unfortunately the way the cookie crumbles. It happened when the first writer's strike happened. So the show that we were filming for got cut back in episodes. Jordan said, who was that picking you up? That would have been my husband. We call him the merwrangler. This is when I was pregnant again, and that's my pregnant belly. And this is a little river that I was always getting pictures in. So just making cute video. This is swimming in a cave in Mexico. So I'm wearing those gloves that are that have the webbed fingers on them, and I was trying to make it look like I was holding light in my hand. But the water is so clear in these cenotes. It's so crazy. Yeah, John, we came up with the word merwrangler. We should have trademarked it because now everybody uses it. We could have like made some merchandise with it or something. So the merwrangler has to carry us around. He does the photos and the videos. He keeps the merverts away, which is what I call the creepers, so don't be a mervert. And he acts as my safety underwater, and we both have freediving training. We took certification, so he knows how to rescue me if I were to faint underwater or anything like that. This is one of my absolute favorite tails ever, and unfortunately, I've used it so much that the fabric has stretched out and it's really, really baggy, and it not only doesn't fit me anymore, it doesn't fit the actual fluke part of the tail. So I think I would like to replace it. And the artist who made it, he updated the design to make the scales stand out even more. So I kind of really want to get it, but the tariffs and stuff in Canada between the states has been rough. Here's another look at one of those silicone tails. Let me move me out of the way. Or sorry, not silicone. This is a sequin tail. So this is another one of those ones. So this is actually me working with a famous photographer, and these were some like B-roll that we took, and we went underwater and we got like really beautiful photos, and this is just sort of like behind the scenes showing the tail and everything. And like I said, I'm a Canadian mermaid. I'm always doing stuff in the winter. I'm always trying to get content because YouTube doesn't stop just because it's snowing, right? And just because you're Canadian. So this is me doing some content, and I'm taking a break in between shots trying to keep warm. My jacket there is like an electric heated jacket, and it's keeping me warm, thankfully. I think we've looked at some of these. Oh, this was like a physiotherapy device we got for my son. I know that you've probably seen these on the internet, but they're like knockoffs and like creepy. This is like a real one that we got to help him with some neck issues. And what was kind of cool is he could put this on and float in the water. So it was really great. There I am pregnant again. This is right before I had the baby, and I went in the ocean swimming. I was 9 months pregnant. This was like days before I had the baby, and those are my, look at my fins. I couldn't get a tail on anymore, so I'm wearing these crazy fins, and I've got these pants, and this is literally the side of the road. I was so desperate to go in the ocean, I just like jumped in. And this is like doing a photo shoot when I was early pregnant, and I liked it because my friends. Hi, bud. You have clothes on?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you want to say hi to people?
Yeah.
Here, come here. Do you want to come up and say hi?
Hi.
Look, you can come up on my lap.
Hi.
Say hello.
Hello.
That's when you were in my belly. Look, you were inside my belly there.
Can I see it?
Yeah, you're inside my belly there too.
But can I see?
Where is this?
Look, that's the waterfall.
That's the waterfall. That's where we did all our pictures together when you were in my belly. Mummy loves that waterfall. And that was Mummy's birthday. That was before I was pregnant with you.
I went to your birthday.
You went to my birthday. River, everybody's saying hi to you. They say hi, hello. They're writing it in the chat.
Oh, hi.
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 Hi, hi. That was my
Hi,
birthday.
Hi.
This is me doing a breath hold. So this is back when shorts could only be a minute long. So
Hi. I'm all done.
you're all done.
Yeah.
Hi, Sarah. Thanks, buddy. Okay, so I don't know if you guys noticed, but this entire time this video has been playing, I've been holding my breath underwater. And this was because a lot of people on the internet are like, oh no, that's fake, you're not really doing that, or whatever. So I did this to prove that I could do it. But this is back when shorts were only allowed to be a minute or less. So it's only a minute long video. So I'm underwater for a minute. And I do have some later shorts where I'm underwater longer because we were able to film longer. And I actually did it as a live stream too to prove that I could do it because, again, people are always like fake or whatever. But I did do it on a live stream, and it's in my archives of live stream video, and you can see me holding my breath. So I have a safety person right here watching me. So my husband's filming, but there's also someone to my left, and you can see their hand keeps coming into the shot. And when you're doing a breath hold like this, they're usually checking in on you every 30 seconds. And then once you get to a minute, they're kind of checking in with you like every 10 or 15 seconds. And you have to give them like an okay, like, yeah, I'm doing okay, I'm doing okay. So you can't really see it, but see, I'm giving a thumbs up right there. I'm just giving a thumbs up to be like, yeah, I know I'm at 30 seconds. I'm doing okay. I feel safe. I'm okay. And yeah, so this is like me underwater for a whole minute, just proving I can do it. Proving I can go underwater. Again, my favorite tail. One of my favorite, absolute favorite tails there. Do you want to use your tablet, bud?
Nope, I already used my tablet.
Are you using it now? Okay, do you need any help? When Fabric Mermaid Tails first came out...
I don't want help.
Okay. When Fabric Mermaid Tails first came out, it was like a game changer because everybody was using these big happy silicone tails, and when I would go to do shoots in like Peggy's Cove, which is this area of like huge granite rocks with the ocean behind it, and when I would go to do shoots there, we would be trying to drag like a 50-pound silicone tail. I'd be trying to put it on without scraping it on the rocks and ruining the paint or anything like that. And it was really, really stressful because I was always afraid I was going to damage it. And then it was so heavy trying to move it around. So when these fabric tails first started coming out, it was like, wow, this looks like it photographs and videos really beautiful, but I don't have to stress out with all the rubber, right? This was just another little clip we made for Halloween. I'm just going to flip past some of those. But again, this is like the fabric tail. You know, makes it really easy to take it into locations like this. And these videos are all from different times in my life. So, you know, my body changes lots through it. I'm really fit right now. So in some of these videos, I'm a little bit bigger than I am now. This was a wildlife rescue. And I called this the booby trap. because he just wanted to hang out in my boobies. I call him the booby trap. Isn't he beautiful? Such a beautiful ball python. In Canada, you don't see ball pythons. I know they're invasive species in the States, but in Canada, they're pets. We don't have them out in the wild being invasive. But lots of people will get them as a pet, and then they can't really care for them, so they surrender them to like a rescue. And that's where this guy was. So I thought he was really beautiful. This was after I worked a gig for these guys. So this was the gig, and it is a wildlife rescue charity, and we would just set up like a big mermaid shell, and the mermaids and I would hang out for the day, and kids would come and visit us, and they would have to pay to get in, and that money would go towards the wildlife rescue. So you can actually Google them. They have a TV show, and they're on YouTube. They're called Hope for Wildlife. I'll put it in the chat. Hi, Xavier. How you doing, buddy? So yeah, hi Luca, how you doing? Here's another good look at the silicone tail. I really loved this one, but after I had the baby, I had to sell it because my hips, when you have a baby, you get a chemical in your body that relaxes your joints. And it relaxed my hip muscles and my hip bones, and so my hip bones widened, and so even though I lost all the baby weight, my bones changed shape, like they widened, so I couldn't fit in this tail anymore. It hurt my hips too much to wear it, so I had to sell it. But it's so gorgeous, isn't it? Are you live streaming too? Is that why you're talking so much? Because you're live streaming? Are you live streaming? Yeah, I can hear you in the background. For a while, my husband was really obsessed with doing slow-mo and getting really cool slow-mo, so this is just like a nice little slow-mo of my tail slap. I love this headpiece I'm wearing. That was made for me. The necklace was made for me, all the seashells. Again, always trying to make the most out of things in the winter, so this was like a winter photo shoot. And I'm wearing contacts, which were fun, but also they also killed my eyes. They're so dry. A beautiful tail there. Baba, can you not be so loud? Thank you. Eat your pizza, bud. My silicone tail here. This is in Florida. This is one of my favorite clips. It's actually 10 years old now, this clip, which is crazy because the GoPro footage has held up, eh? Like, my husband took that on, like, I don't know, like a GoPro 3 or 4. Look at that. And this is literally from 2015. And it's just really beautiful. You can see all the detail on the tail there. The footage is just so clear. But we have come so far with underwater photography and videography. Like, there's so much we can do now. It's become so much more accessible. And, yeah, so this tail I also sold after I had the baby. And I used it for years, and it was inspired by Splash. John, it was inspired by Splash. So a lot of my look is inspired by Splash, if you can't tell. I wasn't an Ariel. I was a Madison, for sure. I always would glue pearls all over my face, and I would use special glue so they would stay on in the water. So you can see there's like all these pearls on my face. Just getting the little guy used to the water there when he was a baby. He's just being loud in the background now behind me. Loud little guy. I like how he's always kind of splashing the water. Super cute. I've had different hair colors. I did blonde here. I wanted to look more like him, so I had blonde. My natural hair is like an auburn red. That's you. Yeah, I'm telling everybody about you. I'm telling everybody all about your mermaid tail and stuff. Is that okay? I don't know what I was doing here. I was trying to do like a Halloween look. And these were like things I glued on under my eyes. And I think maybe it just went a little too scary. It looked a little too much. Always going to weird locations, trying to get pictures and video. There were some hikers who found us. Look at our shoes up there in the corner. There were hikers that stumbled on us, so I can only imagine this was so weird for hikers. And this is my best friend, Mermaid Mimi. She's also the godmom to my son. And we started the Mermaid Company together, and we've been doing it for 12 or 13, no, 14 years. We were together for 14 years. So I met her online, and I gave her a tail, and we started our business together. And this is another girl who worked for us for a while. So I used to have like 15 mermaids working for me at one point, mermaids and mermen. This top was really cool. It looks like an octopus. This is another mermaid that I was training. We call her Mermaid Muscles because she was a stunt actress and she is built like a tank. She did the stunt mermaid work on Lighthouse, which went on to win an Oscar. This was trying out a different tail. I really loved the Betty Page look, and I was trying really hard to do like a Betty Page thing for a photo. A lot of these videos that you're seeing is like the GoPro on top of the actual underwater camera. So my husband's actually taking photos and the GoPro is just filming it. And this was before I had my own babies. I would always borrow everybody else's and have so much fun with them. But you can see I did a lot of detail on my makeup. These are all like individually glued on. And I've got, this is a wig. The top is silicone to look like seaweed. Behind me is a Kelpie. And it was painted, freshly painted. And this is before the fabric tails, so I'm wearing like a big old honkin' silicone tail in this costume. This is me just kind of showing some of the more affordable tails and how we use them. These are just really cheap ones, and we were going out to do a photo shoot. This was, yeah, we were going to make some YouTube content, get some pictures for the guy who sells the tails because I get sponsored. And so there's that waterfall again. It's like a very urban waterfall. And this is just kind of like how I would have to juggle momming and being a mermaid, right? Because this was my business. So we would go and just get our cute little content, and he'd always have fun. And it was always a lot of juggling. But he's been to a lot of cool places. We've done some TV shows, and they've sent us to like Mexico and stuff. And this was like right after I had him. He was not even I think he was just barely a year old there. So like I was starting to lose the weight, but it took a while to come off. I worked really hard on it, but you know, it takes a lot to bounce back after having a baby. Especially me. I had like a million health problems. So these are all kind of like from that. This was an event I did for the city, and they set up a pool for me, and that was kind of cool, and I would entertain the guests, and then people would get photos with me in there. Just a little blow-up pool just so I could actually be in the water. Here's a little bit more of a look at the winter stuff. So we saw those clips earlier where I was like super happy and excited, and like here I'm cold. What are you saying, buddy?
It's purple now.
It's purple?
Yeah.
Your drink is purple?
Yeah.
Oh no.
I just want it to be pink.
So we go to, you want it to be pink. I'm sorry, buddy. Mommy cannot control colors. So as you can see, we always go we go the distance to make holiday content so that things are fun. A lot of my followers are from different places in the world, and they don't celebrate a lot of these holidays, so it's cool to share mermaid stuff with them. This is the lionfish tail. I really love how it looks.
This is my biggest.
Okay, we've seen a lot of those same clips,
This is my biggest.
so I might just I know you guys have seen a lot of the baby stuff. This is like, I had these gems stuck to my face. It's like literally like coming off. Look, it's coming off while I'm swimming. That's so funny. Mermaid outtakes. This is again near Peggy's Cove, and I'm testing out those gloves. And the reason I had these gloves made is because I have tattoos, and the gloves could cover the tattoos and still make me look like a mermaid. So they've got scales glued on them and then webbed fingers. So I think that's really, really neat. And yeah, this is just working another gig with two of my other mermaids. just a little behind the scenes, getting pictures. Those big silicone tails, as you can see, this mom is like helping me flip them up. They are such a hassle. I've hit myself in the head so many times and hurt myself, let me tell you. Again, my lovely little river spot. These are all like B-roll that we end up taking while we're doing photo shoots. I'm really floaty. I actually end up having to put weight, like lead weights in the costume to sink. So there's like a lot of footage of me floating. I saw all these. That's my dad. And my tail got super dirty in the water. We were trying to get a picture together, and I wasn't thinking of like the ramifications of white in like an algae filled lake. We did a lot of events over the years with pirates, and this is my friend Blair. He's a great guy, and my friend's daughter over here. I would bring kids' tails, and the kids would wear them, and we would get pictures and stuff together. There's like a big inflatable bouncy pirate thing behind us. Okay, so here's a really good close-up of that scaled tail. So those are all individually sewn on resin scales. Check that out. So it looks beautiful, right? But it had some design flaws that were really difficult. And it, if they would fall off, and because they were on scuba material, you had to use like an upholstery needle to sew them back on, which was like really difficult. And the company that made them really short, so it would always go down too low on me, so I had to wear this little belt bit for it. You can kind of see like the black on the inside. This was my first fabric tail that I got from this company and loved it. I wore it until it fell apart, literally. And I love this crown. My friend made the crown. It's so gorgeous. And that top is an octopus, so that's like his head, and that's the legs. And I'm always just liking, you know, when I swim, I like spinning around on the surface. It's really nice on your back. Here's another look at that sequin tail. It's so freaking sparkly. Like, I know that it photographs and videos so beautifully, but it was such a pain in the butt to wear. But doesn't it look beautiful? It's really intense, right? It was just so much work. And it was really, really, really floaty. Super floaty. This part is silicone at the top. Went behind the scenes there of a photo shoot. I loved that blonde wig for a while. We'll flop. I'll just kind of spin through some of these. And meeting some kiddos for an event. Snoopy says, my state is full of pirate history, like Blackbeard. Yeah, so are we. So Oak Island is near where I live, so we have like the Oak Island mystery, that kind of stuff. There's some pirates there. There's my friend who's a pirate doing Captain Jack Sparrow. Little guy's got a pirate vest on and his little tail there, and this was an event when he was still a baby, as you can see. Super cute, super cute. And this was an event where we staged that fishermen were capturing me. And so I was on the back of this boat and I'm like screaming and all the kids were watching and the fishermen were like throwing a net on me. And then later pirates boarded the ship and rescued me. So people still talk about it. It was really fun. Here he is going for another little ride on my back. Mommy's gonna finish up here in a minute, buddy. I'm just talking to my internet friends. That's me giving him a ride. Again, blowing out all the air so I can sink. Trying to fluff out the hair and pose. You don't have to stay down very long to get a nice picture. Just a few seconds is fine. Oh, this is in my tank. I have a little tank. So yeah, it's like a traveling tank that we take around, and I was just being silly, pretending to drink out of a goblet and wearing sunglasses. So that's me like getting up out of the tank. I don't know why this clip has done so well, but it's got like a ridiculous amount of views too. I don't know. But anyway, as you can see, it's just a small tank that we borrow from the local marine science university. This was one of my super heavy silicone tails that I had for a short period of time. It was like 65 pounds. and it wasn't custom made. I bought it used. So you can see it's a bit baggy around the ankles because it was a bit big on me, but I really loved it and the way it looked. Like the paint job on that is so gorgeous, but it was a bit tricky to swim in, man. It was pretty intense. The fabric tails again, game changer, made life a little bit easier. It's another look at the green one here. Pretty intense stuff. Pretty wild to swim with.
No.
She was pregnant in this video. You can see her little baby bump there. But yeah, so we brought these little tails, putting the kids in them. Super cute stuff, right? I love making these happy memories for the kids. And for my own kid. Big wave behind us. That water is always freezing back there. A little behind the scenes with my husband, taking some photos. These were product photos for this tail. So again, this is like a really affordable tail, and we were just getting some product photos for the company. Cool stuff there. That was like a rainbow tail. I ended up giving this tail to a friend of mine. Super sweet girl. Yeah, so here I am in the tank at nighttime, and I put lights, underwater lights in it, and you can see all the kids kind of line up to meet me, and they're playing music and everything, and I just go underwater and I look at them through the glass, so they really get a kick out of that. It's just a little tank. It's like not much bigger than a bathtub. This guy having his lunch in between gigs, because that's mom life for you. And this was at another event. I love this look. This is like a killer whale look, right? So that's pretty cool looking, I think. It even has the little dorsal fin, and when I swim, it would stick out. And this was during COVID, so that's why I have a mask on. And look at the seal! Wah! This is an event I worked at an aquarium. And that's why, but during COVID, I had my masks match the tail. So we had like regulations, we had to wear masks, so anyway, I had them match the tail. So just one more look at the seal. Here he goes. Woo! And this is my little guy coming to see me after I'm doing a gig in the tank. There's the tank there. And this is us in California. This is actually when we were working with Netflix, so that's pretty cool. But I think we're gonna wind down here, guys. It's been a treat, but it's been a really long live stream, and I appreciate you sticking with me here. So I'm just going to say goodbye, and thank you so much for joining us. And if you're new to my channel, please like and subscribe. And you can click the bell if you want to get notified. If you want to hear all about my crazy mermaid life and all the cool gigs that I'm doing, like stuff like this, how to be a mermaid, how to swim, tail reviews, unboxing, cool underwater footage, how to make footage underwater, all that kind of good stuff. So thank you for watching, and best fishes.